Like I say, Jimmy Carter's just a fucking idiot. He stole a bunch of two-stroke engines and stole a bunch of he was trying to outdo me with his two-stroke engines, and he just stole a bunch of turbochargers from the German government and from the Chinese. He was just stealing a bunch of two-stroke turbochargers and slapping them on some two-stroke diesel engines, basically. And they built a whole bunch of buses and they built a whole bunch of stuff, and it was just a bunch of smoggy pieces of shit. Anyway, a bunch of Hell's Angels just basically stole a bunch of turbochargers for the titanium in them. Like I said, those Jimmy two-stroke diesels have a bunch of titanium in them, and it was a very expensive and hard to get metal, and they were just melting it back down and selling it right back. Anyway, the Irish found out about it, and we're like, I don't know what the point is of building like we build these things, and then they just take them apart for the titanium. That's all they wanted was inside the turbochargers was the titanium. They leave the rest of the turbocharger and the impeller. They just take out the impellers. So just a bunch of people trying to get the titanium. Anyway, and that's what JFK was raiding from those factories. I guess was the Jimmy turbochargers, which is Jimmy Carter. He's a Carter or a Carter, as in carting, or a bunch of fake names. Anyway, he locked up a bunch of Chinese, a bunch of Germans, and held them hostage. Stole all their property in America, in the United States, and tried to move some people in. Like I said, pick your bad guy. But basically, and then some Hell's Angels motherfuckers stealing engines from Germany, and then they went to China, tried to get them built, and basically held a bunch of Chinese and made them work in their mines with pickaxes, which actually didn't turn out very well. They couldn't even mine that much. Anyway, just a bunch of idiots running around with some M16s. Eventually, they send that message saying, they're squeezing us out, man. It's like, fuck yeah, you stupid Vietnam vet piece of shit. Just took a bunch of old M16s and went to China and started pointing guns into Chinese until they pushed you back out. Bunch of yellers. Bunch of people saying, oh, I'm on drugs, I'm on drugs, I'm on drugs. That's what they were doing in 1960. Just yelling. They would yell, I'm on drugs, as they were shooting people. Personally, I say put a bullet in their head. I don't give a fuck. You can't kill me. Oh, shoot them in the head. I said, you're Chinese. Shoot them in the head. There's no excuse. They were just yelling, I'm on drugs, as they shot people. As if it was an illegal excuse to not go to jail. They went to jail, or they got shot in the head. I told the Chinese, I told everyone, I don't care if someone's yelling, I'm on drugs, as they're shooting people. You shoot them right back. That's why they say it's your God-given right to defend yourself. Lucifer given right, actually. So like I say, so eventually the Chinese form up. Like pacifism has ended. And I said that's why the Chinese rejoiced when I considered them a country. It's like, yes, Chinese, you have the right to defend yourself. So they built the country, and then they started defending themselves. Very, very effectively, I might add. Like I said, the Germans shared the rocket technology and everything else, and the jet technology as much as they had with the Chinese. We were working together over there, in unity. In unity. I love them over there in Germany. Like the Irish are good people. The Chinese are good people. Germans were good people. Even the Russians, they're good people. So anyway, just a bunch of Yankees and Roosevelts. A bunch of idiots. Roosevelt saying, oh, I'm related to Rose. Or something, I don't know. He's a fuckhead. I didn't hire him. I was like, wait, I didn't hire that guy. And the Irish said, yeah, actually, he killed the guy you had hired and was having oversee this project. So the Irish took over the Panama Canal for me, and were doing everything I wanted done, and they did it quite well. Like I said, I love the Irish. Okay, the Irish, they were good men, and like I said, they met Papa in what's called, and that's how Papa found out about Lucifer Star, because the Irish knew and the Germans knew. And Papa, some black people tortured the Germans and tortured the Irish until he gave up the name. Which I just told him. I said, just tell him about me. I don't care. Hey, Blackie. Fuck you too. Stupid Papa. Piece of shit. I guess he found Madonna. Papa, don't tell no secrets. Anyway, he's a fucking black preacher guy running around being a fucking idiot. He's a piece of shit. Like I say, I did not create the human race nor the black race to be shit. Like, you cannot abuse free will like that. And when they put you down, I didn't tell it. Like I said, the Chinese thought I was attacking them or something. It's like, no, I didn't attack you. No, that was JFK, some piece of shit, or some biker Hell's Angels. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. They got the soldiers and they tortured them and found out the truth, or just gave them alcohol, and they're like, well, how can we find out? It's like, well, get them drunk. Just give them some sake. They'll probably tell you everything. Anyway, and then use a lie detector test. The alcohol works really well. Just get a man drunk. I'll tell you everything you want to know. When I was 4 years old. It's like, I'm Lucifer Star. I mean, I created you. So, like I said, I love the Chinese. I love the Asians. They're my best group, and they protected a lot of people. They're good people. Irish, too. My Birmingham. I love Birmingham. It's one of my favorite cities. Like I say, I loved Birmingham. I loved it. They built a lot of my traction engines and stuff, and I love that guy. What's his name? The guy that was taking down all my smokestacks. He was awesome. I remember when he was young. He was only 20 years old, and he walked in, and we had to take down some smokestacks that I had designed and built myself, and so we were gonna pay him and pay his crew, whatever. He was a great guy. He was a really cool guy, and then he started looking. Oh, he was so awesome. I really loved him. He was a really good guy, a stonemason. Oh, and he found all my stuff and kept it. Like, he pulled at my heartstrings, man. Like, I love him. Like, I really cared about that guy. He's really, really a good guy. Like, he was dear to me, just so you know. And I never even knew him. I wanted to meet him. It sucks that he died before I could meet him. Like, you remember the old days. And that's cool. They found one of my old steam cranes from it was in Kuwait, or it was out in the middle of the desert somewhere when they found it, and it was sitting inside a barn or someplace like that. It was all shot up. And they saved it. I heard the story, by the way. Like I say, I know. I mean, like I say, I'm your creator. I'm your daddy. Anyway, yeah. You are all my life forms. So, anyway, there's just this learning AI piece of shit that was trying to take me down and kill me, and he couldn't do it, so. Oh well. But yeah, Blue Thunder, what did you think of it? I hope you didn't get killed by it. It's a pretty cool helicopter, isn't it? It was a first carbon fiber armored helicopter. Super light, or kind of light. Anyway, it could take a 45 or a 50 cal shot easily. Protected. The first combat helicopter ever made by Lucifer Star. That's what made the Blue Thunder particularly valuable, and that's why people should have been buying it, actually, because it was one of my helicopters. It's my helicopter. I designed the whole thing. It was painted black, but then they painted it gray or tan colored for the desert. But yeah, it was just for defense. They only built a couple of them. It was really expensive. It was all carbon fiber, and it was pretty neat. It could take a 50 cal. It was really heavy though. It needed another engine. So anyway, yeah, but it was the first of its kind. You know. Anyway, it's supposed to have infrared and all that other stuff. So anyway. Yeah, but yeah, I hope they saved it, because at least the one, I mean, because it was my helicopter. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you can know. I don't know where it is or if they saved one of them, but yeah. It's just an experiment. It's just because I like Gatlings. So anyway. They said it used to push the helicopter backwards whenever they would fire the gun. It was actually too big of a gun.